Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and I'm here with a little bit of a jelly print play bonus. Let's just call it that, because I'm not sure what else to call it, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do is, I've talked about the labels, the roll-off sheets, the clean-off sheets, and these are them, but these are not my final version of what I do with them. So I just thought I'd show you how I actually finish them off. And what I do with them, and then I'll talk a little bit about how I use them as well. I'm looking around, I need a bit of paper because I just realised I've left my pen palette on the other side of the room and I'm going to need it in a second. Right, so first thing I do is I go through my stamp collection and I pull out stamps that are kind of smallish in design. There's a couple of bigger ones there, but that's just because I like that stamp a lot. I also pull out some text ones, and I've got this one I've used a little bit of, and I'm thinking I want to use more of that. So that's my base things to do. So what I do is I take archival, because I don't actually know where these pieces are going to end up, and the first thing I will do is I will go in with some text. Now I'm not going to put this on a block, I'm just going to use it on the plastic it comes in, and I'm not actually worried which direction I'm stamping text at all, because to be honest with you, I don't know where these stamps are going, labels are going to end up. I don't even know whether they're in a journal, whether they're in a design, whether they're going to be part of a collage, whether they're going to be stamped over the top of at some point. Just as something in the background. So you may not even be able to see that on the screen, but there are little hints. We must remember that each of these labels is only that big. So we're not trying to do an overall something. I'm just trying to put a little bit of interest that captures some of the stamped, some of the labels when they come out. So I tend to do it quite production line. I come in, I get a stamp, I do the text on all of them, then I start again and pull in the next stamp, because it's highly unlikely I'm going to use, sorry, it's just shaking, I apologise if it's shaking. They're highly unlikely to be used on the same thing, except in my planner, which is what I use them for mainly. However, if I wanted to mail something out to someone, I would probably choose one that's not as colourful. So say this one here I'd probably use, and I could write someone's address in that and send out a gift or a card or a present, and that will be on the front of the parcel. So I've done that before now. So that's the first bit done. Right, I think I want to put the butterflies on next, because they might be, I want to make sure they're in the right orientation. Now, as long as it's up downward butterflies, I don't mind. And by that I mean vertically, not so much horizontally. So let's come in. This is a Tim Holtz butterfly stamp. It's a new one to me, and I got it for Christmas, I think, off a friend of mine. I'm not looking for perfect impressions. That this isn't about the stamping. The stamping is all just a layer of visual texture on these. It's what makes it interesting, because sometimes in my journals I don't even write anything on these labels. I literally just use them as a patch of interest. Say I've got space in my planner and I want to fill it up, I will put a bit of maybe fussy cutting into it, or I'll put a bit of magazine, or sometimes, as with these, I will put a label in there that's got a little bit of artwork on. Let's see, let me finish this one, I'll see whether I can reach over and find an example of my previous planners, and then you can see what I mean basically. So, and obviously each of them is going to look different and have a different character when you peel them off. I think I want just two more down by there, and that's done. The thing to remember when you're doing stuff like this with stamps is you have to leave room for the next stamp that you're going to be using, because it's quite easy to go in and go stamp, 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 and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, there's too much stamping on there. So remember that it is supposed to be a label. So bear with me. So, okay, this is one of my previous planner inserts, and as you can see, when I finish my planner, I have space like this stamped and painted. I mean, this is, I don't even know what year this is. 2020. Okay, so I put pieces of art in, so because it's good quality art paper I'm using to make the planners, or they're a planner that I bought from Diane Reevely's what's it called, dialogue collection. They're good paper, and I'm like, okay, so these are just nice things that are inspirational. Sometimes I'll choose a colour theme, sometimes I'll just do pages, so that's where these labels are likely to end up. But who knows, they may end up in collage anywhere I want to put them, really. So now I've got the bigger elements in, I'm going to come in, and I quite like this stamp. And I tend to do this one crosswise, and then what it happens is it happens to catch, say, the corners of 4 of them. I think my stamp pad needs replacing. I have got a new one. I think I've just picked up the old one. I have picked up the old one. Bear with me. I'll just go and get the right one. Yeah, this is the newer one. Now, I'm stamping an archival black. You can stamp in whatever colour you choose. That's better. You can stamp in whatever colour you choose. You may want to stick with the colour theme that actually the labels are. I don't usually mind. I like the the drama that stamping in black gives my pieces. But again, I don't go overboard, and if I think there's enough on there, I will stop. So that's that one done. Stamp that off. I was going to put this one on there, but I think there's a lot on there, so I'm going to put some of this now. This one has lost its stickiness, so I'm just going to put a touch of glue stick on the back of there. It's just something I do when I can wash it off afterwards, because obviously glue stick is water soluble. I come in and just put a little bit on there. It's almost like doing a label masterboard. Okay, I think that one's got enough. I think that over there needs something. And I think a little bit in there as well. So, right, I think that's enough stamping. I don't want to go overboard on the stamping, or it will look like a hot mess. So we'll leave that to one side. Take the stamp out the way as well. Right, I pulled in one of these. This is the insert of a cash register roll. That was an insert from a cash register roll that I thought I'd use, and I do use it quite often. So I'm now going to come in and I'm going to put some painty bits on this. So this one's quite light in colour, but I like that, so I'm going to stay with lighter colours. So I'm going to come in and do a little bit of white, just a little bit of white. Make sure I've got it on my piece, and then literally come in and add the odd elements. So it's a visual texture, but remember, it's not on every single one of them. It'll just show up on some of them. I think that's okay. Do I like white on this one? I do like white on this one, actually, because that looks a bit dark up there. And if you look, you can usually see the joins between the labels. So I try to do them so that I'm crossing over maybe 2 or 3 labels at the same time. Let's put one up there just for good measure. And this one, let's just stick with white. We've got white on the go. But as you can see, I don't really care where I'm going. I'm just, as far as I'm concerned, this is just an inexpensive way to make things that are interesting to look at. I usually buy my labels when they're in the bargain or the discount or the discontinued aisle, which, believe me, that you find labels in the discontinued aisle quite often. You would be surprised. Now, I could come in and do other dots. I could come in and do other shapes. I could come in and I could do things like, I can't remember what it's called, drawing around them with a marker. I could do anything like that. So just remember, you can do whatever you wish on these. Actually, I wonder, yes, I do. I have that mandala stamp that I was trying to stamp with. I wonder whether I can stamp with it with archival. It should work. You're not rolling it across there. It should work, because at the end of the day, it's a stamp. Now, I don't expect to get a perfect impression of this, but maybe if I can get something. No, I can't get anything off it. I think probably because it's wood, so it's not completely flat. It's meant to be for textural stuff. I mean, it's supposed to be used for like thicker inks and dyes. I don't think that's going to help. Let's see whether I can do one of those somewhere. Yeah, that's a bit of interest. And of course it won't get captured on every single label, but one label may have it and maybe a little bit of interest there. So this is what I do, guys. This is how I make up the labels that I'm telling you about. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But you know what? The price of actually buying the label packs, and I would have thrown the paint away if I hadn't used it anyway, so yeah, it's a good one to do. So just as an example, right, these are still wet, so I have to be a bit careful here. But okay, if I come in now and I peel away that label, see, now that's really cute. I could come into these and then actually just stamp words into them. If you're going to do that, however, what I would say is when it's dry, says he, trying to do it undry, I would go in and peel the backing edges off. So let's see if I can do that. You know, every time I go to peel something, it's the day after I've actually cut my nails. Come on, you can do this, Griffiths. There you go. So I'm going to take the backing off, try and peel it without lifting every single label that's on the page. So I would be able to see at this point where the labels are situated. There's a strip down the middle. I think this is the one where it maybe all came off on the jelly plate and I had to stick them back in again. Come on. Why is it things are never easy on video? If you weren't watching me, this would be done in a heartbeat. There you go. Let's just leave it at that. So you will see that I can now see where the thingies are. Thingies, that's a good description, Griffiths. Where the labels are. It's going to really annoy me if I can't pull that bit off there. There you go, that's all done. So you can see where the labels are, so I could then go in and I could stamp words into them. Now, not all labels have that partition down the middle. I think this one does. But it's something to look at when you first buy them, just to see whether they do or not. I think this one does. Come on, up you come. All the way to, so as you can see now, if I pull this gently so I don't pull all of the labels off, that's actually now told me where all the partitions are, and if you look you can always see the line there. So that means now I could stamp words or phrases or doodle into the individual ones. So anyway, that's what I do to make the labels. That's how I take the wipe off sheets to another level, and I enjoy doing that. It's something I do a lot. I do use them, as I said, I use them for journaling, I use them for packaging. I've even been known to use them on ephemera before now. If I'm looking for a focal point for something, I will quite often have a quick look at the labels as well. And if there's a nice one in there that's of the right colour scheme, boom, it's done. There you go. So, there you go. Hopefully you like that. It was just a little bonus video just to explain what I do with the labels and how I use them. As I said, once they're peeled off, they're just cute little pieces of colour that you can add to something. So I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, this is a bonus video, so we'll be putting another jelly plate play out at some point soon. So until then, take care. Bye-bye now. Until next time. Ta.